Swift is collaborating with Linea to build an on-chain stablecoin for a messaging system. What does this actually mean for Swift and the crypto market? And is there other options still on the table for Swift? Let's get into what exactly is happening. I'm going to give you everything you need to know. Let's start here. I woke up and I saw this everywhere. Swift is working with Linea to build a stablecoin and an on-chain messaging system. Let's go ahead, get into this. Yes, the information in the image is true. Multiple credible sources confirm that Swift is collaborating with Linea, an Ethereum-capable Layer 2 network, to build both a stablecoin and an advanced on-chain messaging system. This collaboration is part of Swift's broader strategy to bridge traditional finance and blockchain, aiming to enhance global settlement efficiency and security by leveraging blockchain capabilities. Also says the details of this collaboration, Swift and Linea are working on an interbank settlement token, stablecoin-like asset, designed for global use or global banking use, which could significantly expand stablecoin adoption among institutions. The partnership also focuses on building an on-chain messaging system that allows secure, verifiable banking communications directly on blockchain infrastructure, adding audibility and transparency. So Swift's system right now, it's not very, it's on a settlement system. It's a messaging system. So you're sending these messages in and out saying, hey, these funds are about to arrive, or these funds are about to be debited and discount, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to speed all of that up with blockchain. Several large global banks are reportedly participating in the initial pilot testing, which aims to streamline cross-border transaction and potential rival solutions like Ripple's blockchain payments. So Swift obviously is a little bit worried here, right? Are they going to be replaced? That is the banking system, right? You do start to worry, and this is their effort to maybe try to slow down some of this stuff. I would imagine they also posted this today. Today, 75% of payments traveling on our network reached beneficiary bank in just 10 minutes. But more work is needed in the final stage of payment journey, the last mile, to address friction that delays funds from being delivered to end beneficiaries. According to our latest research, the main root cause of these delays are complex reporting requirements, country-specific effects and risk controls, lack of 24/7 real-time infrastructure, error manual, and fragment in process. Learn what needs to be fixed in these issues, speed up cross-border payments, boost efficiency, and drive progress across the global ecosystem. So they just posted that. And then, of course, Digital Perspective says, sound familiar? The last mile in global payments refers to the movement from financial end recipient, which can be fraught with inefficiencies. So he's comparing what they're saying here to what Ripple has said in the past. Interesting connection there. And then Pumpus here says, he who shall not be named, XRP big news. Swift is launching a major new initiative to transform payments for consumers and small businesses. Working with some of the largest banks, our new scheme will ensure cross-border retail payments. So I don't think maybe this person knew about the linear connection. All good. All good. We're going to speculate here. Unknown DLT said in the new article published today by Swift, they mentioned a new standard for cross-border payments. We all know what the standard is, XRP. The timing is wild. And so this is what he's basically saying here. A new standard for cross-border retail payments, together with a coalition of over 30 early adopter banks, were developing rules that will set a new standard for consumers and small businesses sending money international. Now, I want to say if this was like 4 or 5 years ago, I'd be a little bit more worried, right? Because Ripple specifically was focused on payments at that time. Fast forward to today, we're far beyond just payments, right? We're looking at the tokenization of the stock market and the settlement of that maybe through something like XRP. We're looking at FX. We're looking at custody and solutions. We're looking at tokenizing stocks, bonds, derivatives, real estate, debt, bringing everything on chain. We had this new EVM sidechain. We're having all these DeFi layers being built out on top of it. So, like I said, if this was 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh, snap, no, this could be competition towards Ripple's solutions here. But I truly am not worried. Obviously, Swift was going to do something. But remember, these are just pilot tests. They could go any which way they want. But interesting, they choose Linea for all this because there's a lot of people that have speculated in the past that, of course, XRP will run across the network. And I still believe that whether Swift partners with Linea to do this, I still believe you'll see XRP and RLUSD move across. Here's Patrick Bet David talking about this exact subject. This was several months back. He decides to all of a sudden they replace Swift. Let's say that happens. If XRP replaces Swift and FedNow, you know what happens? Let me give you some numbers here. XRP's ledger processes transactions in 3 to 5 seconds at nearly no cost, making it significantly faster and cheaper than Swift. So Swift processes $5 trillion daily, or 1.25 quadrillion annually, if you didn't know what that was. Quadrillion annually Swift. If XRP captures 5 to 10% of volume, let's just say 10% of volume, $125 trillion annually. The demand for XRP, by the way, it could be any of these other OGs we're talking about. Analysts estimate that a $10 trillion market cap could push XRP's price to $100 per token, with full replacement potentially driving it up to $1,000. Now, who those analysts are, I'm willing to bet those analysts own Ripple. And that's why they're writing this. Hey, analysts, just because I say analyst says it doesn't mean they're 100% right, but that's a mark. It is a way of looking at what could happen with this. If this were to happen, it's a big deal. Now, the roadblock that they have are a couple of things. All right, also you have NDA, non-disclosure agreement, SWIFT. I can't say XRP, but, so this was put out by somebody in the XRP community. I don't know if it's Barrett Bobble that put this out, but look at the glass here. This is actually very interesting. They're going to show you this picture, and then they're going to show you Swift's lobby. Check this out. Looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty close. Looks pretty close. I swear we have some time travelers in the XRP community, some people that have been to the future and know what's coming. All right, Mr. Man also posted this to the BIS, posted about DC FinTech Week. Look at the participants to my knowledge. Ripple works with every single participant shown. Bitstamp, Robinhood, Ripple and Citi, Chainlink and RLUSD, Ondo Finance, and XRP here are some of the biggest contenders that are coming here. Davis, Poke Robinhood, City Circle, Gibson Dunn, Chainlink, Ripple, onto Intuit. So that's going to be a big week for Brad and his team. The post refers to social media discussing Bank of International Sentiment spotlights participants in DC, FinWeek, FinTech Week, with the emphasis on Ripple's broad ecosystem connections and other featured companies. The tweet claims Ripple interacts with all participants. Yes, lotta. And it just talks about here the connections, Bitstamp and Ripple Robinhood. Bitstamp is primary XRP on and off ramp and has connections to both Robinhood. Remember, Robinhood bought Bitstamp. That's basically XRP infrastructure. Ripple and Citi. Citi has explored blockchain integrations and reportedly collaborated with Ripple and various financial innovation pilots. Chainlink's oracles often serve stable coins and assets like RLUSD and DeFi markets. And then Ondo explores asset tokenization on the XRP ledger and focusing on interoperability with next-generation financial protocols. This also is a document here from Smoke. September 2025, FMSB report finds 95% of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, lack underlying value and depend on market sentiment. So this is absolutely true. When you take a look at Bitcoin's use case, what is it, right? They used to talk about Bitcoin as the future technology or the future financial system over time that has now shifted to being a store of value, right? So it's only a store of value for the people that believe it's a store of value. There are going to be other assets that come forward that offer not just a store of value, they offer, payments and maybe a bridge asset and all of these different things in one. So are banks and institutions interested in buying Bitcoin that is just a store of value, right? Or I just go buy gold, right? Bitcoin, or are you going to buy XRP or XLM or Chainlink or HBART, right? I think those assets have way more value personally to the world, and as far as how much they're going to be used. No one's going to go into a Starbucks and use Bitcoin to pay for coffee. You might do it as like, hey, bro, I'm going to show everybody that this works. But are you going to do that every single day? No, you're not, because it's inconvenient, it's slow, it's costly. Of course, you're going to use a stable coin or something more simple to get that transaction done. And I think people are, crazy. Anyway, all right, guys, that's it. Don't want to make this video frickin' 30 minutes. Just want to update you on what's happening with Swift, Linea, Ethereum layer 2 pushing forward with some testing with banks on a stable coin. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated. If you liked the video, like, share, leave a comment down below. Appreciate you. Aloha.